So I'm not doing this video live. I'm going to do this one recorded because it's an empowerment one, but it's hard. My eyes are bloodshot because I have had a bit to drink. So here goes. I'm going to be setting a group or a page up, I'm not sure which yet. And I'm going to be calling on anyone who's suffered trauma, male, female, no matter what your age, no matter how long ago your trauma was, whether it's current, past, whatever it is, to come together. We're going to find a date and we're all going to do something. I don't know what yet. It's, standing at our doors like you do for the NHS clapping, or standing at your window, or some meet outside. I don't know yet, but some kind of a movement. And the aim is going to be that we are going to use our voices. We are going to go deep, deep, deep down into the very core, the very root of our pain, of our trauma, of our hurt. And we are going to shout or scream from the top of our lungs, from the root of our being, all together. And we're going to make our voices heard. And we're going to change the world, because we are going to make people hear us, because there are so many of us. And we separate off into our groups of child abuse victims, or rape victims, or domestic violence victims, or trafficking victims, or victims of war, whatever that trauma is. Whatever that trauma is. Men, women, any colour, any religion, any status. And we're not going to separate, because we share one thing in common, and that is our pain. The pain that is ignored day after day after day. The pain that we bury down and repress and hide and mask so that others are comfortable. That we are called a drama queen, or we are called an attention seeker. And we're encouraged to bury our pain and not feel it and not show it, because other people don't want to see and hear our pain. And that causes us further pain. Silenced, having to pretend, feeling that we're not good enough, we're not important enough, feeling that other people's comfort is more important than the horrendous deep pain and the trauma we've had. Whether we're bullied at school, bullied in the workplace, bullied by our families, beaten, called names, judged. And I want us all to stand together as one and scream out our pain. I will not be silenced anymore. I will not run away from words that make me feel shame. I will not have my abuser's shame projected onto me anymore, and hold the shame that should never have been mine and should have been theirs alone. I will not justify or have it justified what was done to me anymore. I will not keep family secrets. To make you comfortable, to keep your secrets, to keep your shame to protect you from your shame, but in the meantime, I live with the shame that was never mine to own in the first place. I will no longer be held to account for what others did. I will no longer have every area of my life impacted because of what you did. My abusers. Keeping quiet and silent for you. Making excuses for you. Words that I keep unspoken through fear and shame. Too scared to repeat the words you said when I was a child and told me to open my legs. Too scared to tell people about your fingers and where they touched. To make me fear and hate my own vagina so much that I couldn't even use the word until today. To hate and resent and feel ill and disgusted at the thought of my own vagina. To be quietly submissive to man after man after man. To hand over control and power to other men because of trauma bonding and Stockholm syndrome. To want the same men that hurt me to heal me. To want the men that cause me harm to make me feel better. To, at the same time, reject affection and comfort and love from any other person. Friend, family, men, good men. To reject that. Because I felt I was dirty. Because I felt ashamed. I will no longer give you power. And you can have your shame back. Using psychological terms on me to make out I'm crazy. To make out I'm wrong. To make out, to add to my shame. Shame that should never have been mine. And I have it piled on me day after day after day. Words like calling me an attention seeker from other people. From other people that didn't do the abuse to me but continue to abuse me. To continue to silence me. To gaslight me. To call me oversensitive, overreactive. So I'm asking that the only way we can change the world and stop this is to stop letting people sit comfortably pretending that we're not in pain and trying to make us go away and be quiet. Don't talk about it. Stay silent. Stop attention seeking. Stop being a drama queen. Put it behind you. And all of those of you who have been through trauma know what I'm talking about. And yet we all unitedly stay quiet. We all unitedly keep those people comfortable. But by silencing us, they don't care about our pain and our comfort. So why do we care about those? Except because our abusers shamed us and these other people add to it and continue to shame us. Let's take our power back. No more silence, no more shame. No more silence, no more shame. We will stand together. We will pick a date. And we will all stand at our doors. We are so quick to stand at our doors and make a racket for the NHS and the frontline workers. We make a racket to show our support. Well, we're going to make a racket to make our voices heard and to get rid of our shame. Because it shouldn't be shame on us, it should be shame on them. Shame on the abusers and shame on the supporters of that. The shame on those who try to shame us. The shame on those who try to make us keep quiet, to sit in their ivory towers, unaffected. And by being unaffected, no change ever comes about. And we continue to suffer. And we will not go quietly. We will not live our lives out silenced, timidly approaching occasional people to tell them our stories, in fear of judgment when we do, in fear of being told that we need to get over it, we need to heal. The world needs to heal, and we cannot heal until the world heals. We cannot heal until the world hears our pain and our voices without shame and without shaming us. And unless we stand united and we make our voices heard, we won't be alone. We will not be the only ones. It will continue, and we are teaching our children silence. And when we teach our children silence, we continue the cycle. We enable the abuse. We enable the abuse to continue. We continue the fear and the shame. Because we're teaching them that with our silence. When we all stand together and we all scream and we all shout and we all force our voices to be heard without shame, the children will follow. The children will be led. The children will be guided. And they will scream and shout out. And they will be heard. And for every adult that you silence, every adult that you shame, the children see that and they stay silent. And because they stay silent, they continue to be abused. We need to teach our children that they have voices and that they will be heard and listened to compassionately. And you can only do that by listening to the adults, the victims, the survivors. So I call on all victims, all survivors, and I tell you now, join with me and become a warrior and roar on a set date. Whether we all stand at our windows, millions of us stand at our windows and not just make our voices heard, but make the earth rattle and shake up the whole world. Do not go quietly into the night. Be heard. Do not be, or do not let others be complacent. Do not let others silence us.